We got to get over to France. We got to go international, y'all. We got to go international. So I'm not going to spend no more than 10 minutes on this. I'm not going to spend no more than 10 minutes. It's chaos in France after an upset election. All right? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Let's get to it.
This is what the victory rally for the new French government looked like, and as you could see in that footage, there are far more Palestinian flags being waved than French flags. In fact, there are hardly any French flags at all. It comes as Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party was defeated in the second round of the French parliamentary elections, and the country's left-wing alliance, the New Popular Front, looks set to win after exit polling indicated it would win the most seats. Now, this alliance didn't even exist a month ago, but four parties came together to keep the far right out of power. And it's promised to scrap immigration reforms and set up a rescues agency for undocumented migrants to facilitate visa applications. Now, the world is watching and reacting to the results coming in. This is what is being posted on X. Good night, France. You've always been good at being rapidly conquered. Another person wrote, one thing about France is they never miss an opportunity to surrender their country, and enjoy your country while it lasts. Journalists and commentators are sharing vision from on the ground where, despite being the projected winners of the elections, many who belong to the far left are rioting in the streets.
We don't really see this type of movement and this type of action here in the United States of America, and I'm kind of thankful for it. Is this something that could possibly happen here in the United States of America?
Podcast host Brianna Morella shared this clip and wrote, I'm fascinated by France's far left. If they lose, Paris will burn. If they win, Paris will burn.
France had an upset election to where the far left basically unseated what their normalcy is, and they've become so divided over in France to where they basically gonna destroy and tear up the entire city, regardless of what happens on the left or the right. And the far left are the ones that didn't won the election, or they're being declared as the winner of the election in a deadlock, almost deadlock election. Look at this.
That was the same guy, same fat guy that I saw earlier.
So we're not just destructive here in the United States of America, we destructive all over the world. Okay, I get it. So France is absolutely destroying their own streets. I thought that was only in certain cultures and certain communities. But apparently, that's a precursor of what possibly could happen inside the United States. I believe that we're so divided in the United States of America that it's a possibility that this type of thing, something that just seemed unfathomable, right? Because we didn't think that this type of thing could play out when it came to Black Lives Matters. The other day, I see people being fear-mongered, and it's absolutely going bad and going left. I see people being fear-mongered when it came to Nashville. They were marching in the streets of Nashville, Tennessee. And they saying that it was a far-right group that was marching down through Nashville. Patriot Front March in Nashville. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Give me a second.
Thinking to start cutting carbs. I need to drop my belly fat.
If you want to drop this.
Members of a far-right group marched through the streets of downtown Nashville yesterday. Brianna Hamlin joins us now with more on that. So, Brianna, where exactly did this happen and what happened?
Jennifer, they marched throughout downtown and they were seen wearing khakis and blue shirts, covering their faces with a white cloth and wearing sunglasses and a cap on their head. And they claim to be here to reclaim America. A viewer sent us this video.
Did these dudes really just jump out of the U-Haul? I wasn't expecting them to get out of the U-Haul.
Of the group, who calls themselves Patriot Front, climbing out of the back of 3 U-Hauls in the parking lot of Nissan.
Hell no, I'm not about to, listen. I'm never going to be afraid of a bunch of men walking down the streets in khakis with flags that get outside of a U-Haul. Look, man, y'all keep being scared. Y'all think that this is news. Y'all think that this is meaningful. Ain't nobody, bro, all we got to do is go and get the license plate number and then call U-Haul and figure out who rented the truck. Nobody is afraid of a bunch of dudes in khakis with dad bods walking down the street of Nashville at all. Y'all really thought that this was a story? Come on.
Stadium. They continued to march through downtown with their band.
Any dudes that would get into a U-Haul with 100 other dudes, that's the last thing you got to be afraid of.
American flags, shields, a Confederate flag, and passing out flyers while chanting on their way to the front of the Capitol. They also spray painted their logo under the Woodland Street Bridge, which is vandalism. The group Patriot Front has...
I got YouTube Premium, but I'm not signed into this particular browser that I'm using. So if I use it on a regular screen, then it'll show you that I got YouTube Premium. So, like, for example, I can go here, right, and say, oh, hold on, let me see something. So if I look at that, you can see it says Premium in the upper right-hand corner or upper left-hand corner. I'm not signed into this particular browser, so...
caused problems in other cities before. Southern Poverty Law Center calls them one of the most prominent white supremacist groups in the country. In 2022, the FBI assisted in the investigation and arrest of 31 members of the group for conspiring to riot in Idaho at a Pride event. That same year, the city of Boston condemned the group for marching through its streets. This isn't the first time a white supremacist group has marched through Nashville. A similar scene happened downtown in February, and racist flyers have been spread around Nashville in the past. Data from the SPLC says the number of racist flyers found in Tennessee shot up from 21 reported incidents in 2018 to 268 last year. Regarding yesterday's march, the Tennessee Democratic Party made a statement calling on Republican lawmakers to condemn the acts of the group with them. TNDP Chair Hendrell Remus stated, while our Republican state leaders sit quietly by, we refuse to let hate-filled racist terror.
Let me see something. Patriotfront.us. America will fully recognize themselves as a people, not merely citizens or residents of a country, but a people bearing a unique national interest rooted in our heritage on this continent. Our people born to this nation of our European race must reforge themselves as a new collective capable of asserting our right to cultural independence. The life of this nation, unique among all others, will be defended. Okay, so let's see. Manifesto. Let's go to the manifesto. Our cruel and oh, that's from Jordan Washington. America stands at a cross. Man, I'm not reading all of this. To form a new state, we must first instill national spirit within our people free from the vices of modern world, and a people with a fervent. This is white people that saying that they're under duress, ladies and gentlemen. White people are saying that they're under duress. Anyways, let's get back to France.
The second round of France's parliamentary elections looks set to deliver a very surprising result, with Marine Le Pen's far-right party forecast to come third in a poll in which they were expected to come top. This was an election in which her political opponents cooperated with each other in the hope of keeping her party from power. According to projections by French broadcaster France 2, the left-wing New Popular Front, seen here in red, appears to have the most votes. President Macron's ensemble, shown in purple, is in second place, and Marine Le Pen's anti-immigration national rally in navy blue has been pushed into third after it won the most votes in the first round last weekend. But none of these groups is on course for an absolute majority. Our first report is from our Europe editor, Katya Adler, who was at National Rally's headquarters.
In a shock result for all and a huge relief for many here, the far left coalition has unexpectedly become the biggest party in the French parliament, beating the far right.
The vote is final. The defeat of the president and his coalition has been clearly confirmed.
Equally stunned by tonight's results, Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party. So sure victory would be theirs, except it wasn't.
At an absolute loss for words, it seems. This has been a huge slap in the face for Marine Le Pen's party. All the polls before this election have predicted they at least would become the largest party in the French parliament. They said they were poised to govern, but the French people today said a resounding no.
Confusingly, their star shone so brightly in the first round of this election.
Malheureusement.
Unfortunately, an alliance of dishonor and a dangerous electoral arrangement set up by this government with the far-left coalition has deprived the French people of a political recovery.
So, Emmanuel Macron's gamble calling this snap election paid off. Or did it? No party has a majority to govern in France now, and President Macron's Prime Minister has just announced his resignation. Just ahead of hosting the Olympic Games, with all eyes on France, this EU and military power, key ally of Ukraine, has plunged into political limbo.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And they're about to have the Olympics there, so they're about to make fools of themselves. And the French people are now so divided. I just think that it's a foreshadowing of what's happening inside of the United States of America. I think that no matter what happens in this upcoming election, it's just going to be bad. It's already bad. We already more divided than ever. We divided when it comes to gender. We divided when it comes to race. We divided when it comes to political party. We're divided when it comes to class wars. And we don't see eye to eye on anything. You know the only thing that really brings us together as a nation? Or what used to bring us together as a nation? The only thing that used to bring us together as a nation, and the second Bush actually executed on this beautifully. I mean, beautifully. The second Bush executed on this beautifully. France is trash. France is already done. France is burning. Paris got the Olympics there. But the only thing that usually brings the people together is war. Usually. United in war, and historically. Like most of the time, the last time that I seen it was the war on terror. And before people actually started to wake up, they all kind of came together when Bush, I think, was going to lose. And then you seen 9/11 play out. Now, a lot of people have different theories about why that played out and how it played out. And usually everybody else come together in order to come against somebody else. So the way that they was able to bring the country together is by saying that, well, it's an act of terror against the United States of America. And so then where we were all divided, we all came together. People were divided when it came to climate. People were divided when it came to politics. People were divided when it came to money. People were divided when it came to race. And then we all can come together because we all can be united against them now. So ideally, people are dysfunctional. People in general are dysfunctional, 100%. They're dysfunctional, and the only thing that they come together, I'll give it to you on a macro level, on a micro level. I've seen people that hate each other come together because they don't like me. I've seen people that would never be caught dead in the same room as somebody else come together because they don't like somebody else. So the enemy of your enemy then becomes your friend, and it's an easy way for them to be able to manipulate you. Happens every single day. Manipulation within politics happens every single day. And the more divided that we are, the worse it's going to become. And nobody wins in the end. And you can see that happening over in France. The sentiment was, well, France is going to burn, or Paris is going to burn whether they win, or Paris is going to burn whether they lose. Because somebody was going to be mad and somebody was going to be angry as a result of it.